On this episode of Sports Force, it's our Pick'em episode.
Let's do it.
And our NFL stocks, buying or selling.
It's going to be a fun week.
And we've got some news.
Yeah.
Some stuff happened over the last couple days since we recorded our last podcast. So let's kick this thing off.
Let's do it.
You
Sports
ready?
Force starts now.
This is Sports Force, a Garage Sports Media production. I am one of your hosts, Ayron. With me is Mr. Ryan Bass. Ryan, how are you?
I'm doing good.
That's good.
Yeah. How are you?
You know what? I've had an okay day.
I feel like I don't ask that question enough. Like, how are you? Like, fuck how you're doing. Let's talk about how I'm doing. No. How are you?
I'm good, except
Okay.
I think I sprained my ankle at the gym today.
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah, I've been hobbling around. It's been kind of rough. It's my first gym injury, like a legit one, so hopefully it's short.
Well, and it's the first time you said that you've ever sprained your ankle.
Yes.
Ever.
I've sprained,
I find that so hard to believe. Like, who doesn't sprain their ankle growing up?
unless I did as a kid and just didn't realize it. I just thought it hurt, but I've
Maybe.
never had like a diagnosed sprained ankle.
Okay.
I sprained fingers,
Yeah.
broken fingers, broke my hand, broke my foot, broke my collarbone skiing, never sprained an ankle.
Wow.
Never had anything that feels like this, so.
Well, there's a first time for everything.
Good thing we're sitting.
Yeah.
Like it. So we are recording this just before Thursday Night Football kicks off, where we have this exciting matchup of the Chicago Bears versus the Washington Commanders
Commanders.
in D.C.
Yeah.
So not in Soldier Field. So that is our first game. We should probably just jump into the picks. Actually,
We got some news to cover
we
first.
do have news to cover
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
So, which one do you want to go for first? Because we had a few big stories. I think one of the biggest ones being the Broncos made a move and cut Randy Gregory
Yep.
after only 10 games with the team.
Which they overpaid for as well. I remember when that
Yep.
first came out, I wanted to say they offered him 50-something million. I might be off my numbers a
I
little
thought
bit.
it was 70. I could be wrong.
Yeah, all I know is when I saw that, I'm like, they overpaid big time to have him come to the team.
Yeah.
And he didn't pan out nearly the way they were hoping for, obviously.
Well, clearly. I mean, they're a 32nd ranked defense, and he only made it 10 games with the team.
10 games. Did he even record a sack?
I didn't look up any of his stats because I think this is more about Sean Payton making a statement,
Yeah.
especially around that defense of just something's going to change.
Something's got to change.
And so he's the first one to drop. Now, I expect somebody to pick him up. I don't know who that would be.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the end, but is this a performance thing or is it a culture thing? Because I've just had this feeling that culture within the Broncos organization is not good. And just to further cement that, there's a Marshawn Lynch video going around where Shannon Sharp's interviewing him, and he does
Yeah.
not have great things to say about Russell Wilson. And he was being respectful about it. But, man,
Yeah.
the
I
Russell
actually
Wilson
saw that
stuff
one.
is interesting. So is that spilling over into the Broncos? I don't know.
Yeah, Russell Wilson's playing, heads and shoulders above last year for sure.
Yeah,
But-
no kidding.
But it's not everyone's cup of tea,
Yes.
So it could be that. It could also be that Sean Payton has a godlike complex and it's his way or the highway. And the NFL is always changing.
Well, something needs to change in that team.
Something needs to change. And I don't know if with how this team's currently constructed of his personality meshing with other players.
They might not.
And it might take some time, like everything.
Yeah.
This is his first year. So, if it's still going like this next year, then obviously the game's passed him by or it just doesn't really mesh well with the players.
But he just made the statement.
But he
step
made
up
this
or step out.
He said nut up or shut up.
Or we'll get rid of you.
He said nut up or shut up. Yeah. So
that was
we'll
the first one.
Yeah. Second.
Second, what you got?
Well, I guess let's talk about it because I didn't want to believe it until I checked my sources. But breaking news, not so breaking news, but Caleb Williams says he's making more money and returning USC next season as a rookie in the NFL. And he says there's only 5 teams that he's willing to play for, period, which is the Cowboys, the Raiders, Vikings, Giants, and 49ers. Now, with how those teams are currently constructed and where they're at right now in the season, I mean, Vikings, Giants, and Raiders are all, in the front of the line to draft him.
Yeah.
But I'm really curious to see how that pans out because the Mannings did it. I'm pretty sure Elway did it. And he's just basically saying, like, fuck the Bears. I'm not going to go in and play if they're going to draft me.
And it seems like the consensus that if they keep playing the way they do by going 0-17 that I predicted, timestamp it now, they would be first in line for him.
Right.
And if he's saying I'm not playing for him, I mean, if you're talking about NIL money, maybe this is where we start to see a change in players,
right?
Where they're a little bit more able to pick and choose who they want to play for and not have to go for a perpetually toilet team. Maybe.
You know, there's also the idea that, okay, the Bengals were dog shit until Joe Burrow came around. So if you're that guy, you are expected to come in and change the tides of a team, right? So there is that to be said too. Like you can't want to go to good teams only. 49ers, sure. Who wouldn't want to play for the 49ers? Cowboys, they're pretty well constructed as well. They've got good coaching over there for the most part. Like, of course, teams are going to want to go to those two organizations. Vikings are having an off year. We see it. Typically, they're pretty competitive, but interesting. The two teams that I see that stand out the most right there that would actually do something for Caleb Williams is I would say first off the Raiders, and I don't say that because they're my team. I say that because of money they can offer, assets they can offer, and could they fire Josh McDaniels and bring in a Harbaugh, to develop Caleb Williams even more on an NFL level.
And I just wonder
what would the Giants be able to give up at this point that the Raiders couldn't offer times 2?
Yeah, I guess I'd be more interested in what the reasoning is, and I haven't seen this at all, so I don't know. But is it like location based too? Like who wants to play in Minnesota? It's a very cool stadium, but like you have to live there. Is that
cold.
a factor into some of the stuff? I don't know. So that's interesting as we get through the season. There's a lot of teams that are going to be in line for him and what's going to happen. I want some draft drama. It's been a while since we had some.
Yeah. Normally you just go where you go, and that's where you play.
Yeah, and this would be a fun one. Although, Laramie Tunsil having a video of him smoking weed in a gas mask was pretty fun. We need another one of those. It's been a while.
Yeah. What else you got?
The last one I had that really made the radar was Jonathan Taylor's back with the Colts.
That's right.
He's practicing in full. He's off the pup.
Yeah.
And apparently he's staying with the Colts.
Yeah, for the duration of the season, I anticipate.
It seems like.
And Cooper Kupp is also playing.
He's back. He's practicing in full.
He's practicing in full, which is going to provide them a huge spark.
So both these teams have this,
By the way, he's on my fantasy, so I'm very excited about that.
Which one, Cooper Kupp?
Yeah, Cooper Kupp.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I need it.
But obviously these are great players, so it's kind of dumb to say both these teams benefit right off the bat.
Right.
But look at the Colts with Anthony Richardson. Having Jonathan Taylor means he can focus more on passing.
It opens up their offense.
He could run. So now you're looking at a new age Ravens with a fresh Lamar Jackson.
Dual threat.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden the Colts are like, ooh, shit. And then you have on the Rams, Puka Nacua has been incredible. He's been Matt Stafford's target. I can tell you from my fantasy team in a point per reception league.
Sure.
He does very well.
Right.
So is there room for both of these guys? They need another outlet. Like, can they gel together?
I would say yes, because if you look at his turnover ratio, Matt Stafford, it seems like he tries to force the ball toward one side, one person only. If they can expand on that and get Cooper Kupp back, he doesn't have to force that ball toward Puka Nacua so often.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm interested to see is can they spread the field with those two. So that's exciting and good for both these teams who, the Rams have been a little up and down. This is going to be a shot in the arm to really get them moving in the right direction.
Right.
So we should probably get into some games. This is our quick episode for the day.
Yep.
So, first game, which kicks off tonight, as we mentioned, the Bears versus the Commanders in D.C.
Yep.
Who you got?
Oh, this is easy. Give me Washington.
Easy
handle
for me,
business
too.
at the crib. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
agreed. Now, I'm interested in watching this game because, all the reports out of last week where Justin Fields just sat in his locker or in the locker room for like a half hour after the game in full pads. He's got to be contemplating life.
He's got to be contemplating this team because he's already said that he feels as if they're poorly coached. If you look at the Bears' tenure with drafting quarterbacks and how they've coached them, they've arguably ruined some pretty decent quarterbacks that could have been good.
Yeah, they sure have.
In my opinion,
I mean, they've
anyways.
just gone through quarterbacks.
Right. So is the problem Justin Fields? I mean, I'm not saying he's going to be great, but there's been some pretty good quarterbacks that have gone through that organization in the last 2 decades. And where are they now? Right?
Yep.
So maybe he just needs a fresh start. And maybe that's what he's contemplating, right? Where it's like, hey, I feel like the coaching, the style is holding me back of what I could be. I think that might be what he's contemplating because he's still young. He still has room for improvement to develop. So let's see what he can do.
Yeah. So we both have Washington in this game.
Yep. Next up, we jump into Sunday's matchup. Bright and early in London.
In London town, in Tottenham,
Across the pond.
we've got the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Buffalo Bills.
Yep. It's a 7:30 kickoff time. Yeah. So Bills are gonna
Kick
handle
the shit out of Jacksonville.
handle
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, Bills, no problem.
Give me the Bills. I love what they're doing, and they're coming into form. So yeah, give me the Bills.
Yep.
Okay. Next up, we've got Houston at Atlanta, and I am going to expand in our power rankings on Houston, but for now, give me Houston to handle the Falcons.
Yeah. We're starting off agreeing a lot, but I love what Houston's doing. I love
Me too.
watching CJ Stroud.
He's playing phenomenal.
Atlanta stinks. Desmond Ritter stinks.
Right.
I expect them to handily win this game.
Yep. Next up, you've got Carolina at Detroit. So give me the Lions to move up to 4-1.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not?
How can you not?
The lines are rolling right now. Carolina's
Yeah.
still trying to figure themselves out. They didn't make a move for a receiver yet.
Nope.
I think Bryce Young will be back this week, so
Sure.
I don't expect much out of the team. So yeah, Detroit.
Okay. Next up, you've got Tennessee at the Colts. And I am going to say that the Colts will handle business, especially if Jonathan Taylor plays this game. Even if he doesn't, I still think they would win. But I anticipate them to win a semi-close matchup. But, I just have a feeling that it might be close. But I do give the nod to the Colts.
I mean, what Tennessee team's going to come out?
Right.
The good one or the bad one?
And that's why I'm saying it could be close.
Exactly.
Because if they play like they've played in the past in those close games that have put them in 2 wins, then it could be a tough time.
Yeah, I agree again. Colts all day. I don't trust the Titans as much as I wanted to at the beginning of the season. I don't know what team you're going to get.
Right.
And vibes are probably high within Indianapolis. I mean,
They've gotta be.
With Jonathan Taylor not trying to leave, something changed. So
Something changed, yeah.
Colts me up, baby.
Yeah. Next up, you've got the Giants at Dolphins. So this is easy. I expect Dolphins to completely put on a clinic against the Giants. It might be like, flashbacks of a 70 piece.
Oh my God,
It's going to be bad.
The Giants are in such a bad place.
Oh, they're in a very, very bad place.
They got the one win. They might be the only one they get all season.
I was expecting Daniel Jones to turn to coach and just smack the shit out of him.
I hope that it just continues to be this bad.
Yeah.
Because the sideline footage is awesome.
It
Brian
is.
Dable throwing tablets.
Yeah, he's being a little bitch.
Yeah, well, look who you got.
Yeah.
And you signed him for a long time. Not that he did, but
whose fault is that, right?
anyways, I got Miami by a long shot.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, this is where I switched my pick initially, but from when I picked earlier. But New Orleans at New England. I'm going with the Saints to put some more pain on Bill Belichick.
What?
Yep. Yeah. I think that
The Saints are bad.
the Saints are bad, but the Patriots are worse, and I'll tell you why, because Mac Jones has never looked this bad. Bill Belichick has never been this frustrated. The organization can feel it. The team can feel it. And the Saints have more offensive weapons and they're better defensively, and that is a fact that they're better defensively.
Look, I think this game's going to suck to watch.
Yeah.
So I don't think we'll be watching much. It may not even make red zone. I have no idea.
No, it will, because there's going to be a field goal at least.
Yeah, exactly. The Saints will kick 3 field goals as they do every game.
Yep.
I don't have faith in either of these teams, but I have zero faith in a New Orleans offense, even with Alvin Kamara back.
Yeah.
Give me New England.
Okay.
Not by much, but give me New England.
All right. So next up, you've got Baltimore at Pittsburgh. Give me the Ravens.
Ravens, baby. The Steelers suck.
They do. And who is coming in to play quarterback this week for Pittsburgh?
Kenny Pickett is back.
He is back.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, that's not going to help him.
It was just a bruise.
Yeah.
But he stinks. The Steelers stink.
You're going to suck. Okay. Next up, afternoon game, you've got Philadelphia at the Rams. This is where I'm going to switch it up and say I feel like the Rams with Cooper Kupp are going to give the Eagles problems, especially after what I saw against the Commanders. I think the Rams are a better team than the Commanders, and with Cooper Kupp back, I just feel like they're going to upset the Eagles and bring him down.
Okay, we talked about this a little bit earlier in the week because you gave me a sneak preview of your picks.
Yeah.
And I said this is a game that I go back and forth on. I don't know which to decide.
Right.
And it has upset written all over it.
It does. It
because
really does.
If Cooper Kupp is actually healthy and he plays, they're giving him a full practice. I don't know what that means for a game. If they're going to pitch count him, snap count him, I guess.
Yeah.
But the Eagles have been playing so close to the sun of letting teams in a game.
Yeah.
The Rams kind of come and go. The thing that makes me concerned is that Bengals game.
Right. I think that was a fluke.
It seems like it.
Yeah.
And if Cooper Kupp's back and it opens up Puka Nacua, or I'm just talking myself into the Rams. Give me the Rams.
Okay. Damn it! I thought I was going to hold that one over you. I thought you were going to still pick but I'm glad, and
I want the upset. I want the upset more than anything.
Yeah,
so this
too.
is just I'm putting it in the universe.
Yep. Okay. Next up, you've got Bengals at Arizona. They're playing the Cardinals. Listen, anyone who's playing against the Bengals, give me that team for the rest of the year. I choose the Cardinals and their scrappy offense to put the Bengals in a 1-4 deficit.
I'm going to pick the Bengals in this game. And I'll tell you why, because that's what we do on this show.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
The Bengals are desperate for another win.
They are. They have to.
They are not talking about sitting Joe Burrow, so you got to make his time worth it. If that defense can step up like they did against the Rams, I see them pulling off this win. I don't know that's going to be pretty, and I don't think it's going to be high scoring. The Cardinals have a good defense. They can run the ball, but the passing game is so-so.
Yeah.
If the Bengals can get to Joshua Dobbs, I expect them to be able to hold him to some 3-and-outs and push the ball downfield.
That's fair.
I mean, Jamar Chase said this last week, he's always fucking open.
I'm always fucking open.
So I'm taking the Bengals.
Yeah, okay. All right, next up, you've got the Jets at the lonely old Broncos. And I am going to give the nod, especially after what I saw this past game against the Chiefs. I think they're going to ride that momentum in, even though they lost. I don't think they should have lost that game. And I think that they're going to handle business in Denver. So give me the Jets.
Yeah. I mean, there's no faith in Denver whatsoever.
Yeah.
32nd ranked defense. Zach Wilson played the best game you've ever seen.
Against a much better defense as currently constructed right now. I want to say it's 8th or I don't know. It's top 12.
I'm going to go, and this is just a vibes, Jets vibes.
Jets vibes.
They are going to back Zach Wilson. The defense stepped up last week against the Chiefs.
Which I love. Mahomes. I mean, I love that he's backing that the team is lifting up Zach Wilson, which you should.
And so I would expect that they just open it up and let him pass it. At this point, what do you have to lose?
I wonder if Aaron Rodgers will be in attendance.
Why?
I don't know. He was at the last game.
He just follows him around to each game now?
I mean, why wouldn't he?
I don't know. So, yeah, I'm going with the Jets on this one.
Yep.
I mean, it's one of those things until the Broncos show me something different. Why would I ever pick them?
Right?
They stink.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
stink, Broncos.
You suck. Okay. I wanted to pick this game differently, but next up you've got the Chiefs at Minnesota.
Ride the wave. Take the risk. Go for the upset.
I want to go for the upset, and I would not be surprised if it ends that way, but I have to go with my gut, which is the Chiefs.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why you would pick any against. I don't know why you'd pick Minnesota over the Chiefs anyways, because every episode I do this. The Vikings have no defense.
But they have a much better offense in terms of getting the ball down the field.
As long as Kirk Cousins doesn't have a game like he had last week,
right,
they'll be in it.
Well, if they can eliminate Travis Kelce, which seems a lot more manageable to do in this year, I mean, who else are they going to throw to? I mean, Isaac Pacheco, they're going to, throw down to him, and they're not protecting Pat Mahomes as well. So he's getting moved off the line. He's making bad throws. He's got 4 interceptions so far for the year.
There's 2 ways they'll get it. One is Mahomes will get it on his legs like he proved last week.
Yeah.
Whatever they need to get, he'll get.
Sure, I'm not doubting that they won't find some way to get it, but just there is potential upset written on this game, but I'm still going to choose the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I will not be surprised if we come in Sunday night to record our Week 5 reactions talking about the Chiefs falling out of standings by.
I mean, it would be an incredible upset.
Yeah.
I would, but I'm not picking against the Chiefs. There's just no way.
Okay. Yeah, so we agree on that.
Well, I guess in this game,
yeah,
I don't have a lot of confidence in the Chiefs.
No, I know.
have put it on record that everybody has them way too high.
Right. So Sunday night's matchup, the one we've all been waiting for.
This is the game of the week.
This is the game of potentially the season so far. It is the Cowboys at 49ers. Man, this has so much riding on it. So much that this game is going to tell.
This
right?
just feels like fall football.
It really does. And I can't wait. That's the game we should eat wings about.
The night game?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
This is the first test for either of these teams.
It really is. And I have the 49ers. I do have more faith in them.
Yeah. I mean,
the
Niners have done nothing to give you doubt. The Cowboys have. I'm trying to throw that week out the window. But the fact is, record-wise, they did lose a game and they lost a stupid game.
And also, the Cowboys are out 2 premier slots for their corners. Mm-hmm. Corner slots, my apologies. And the games that they have played incredible defense against, they're all under 500, and they're all horrible teams. This team has an explosive offense, explosive defense. 49ers have not put up a offensively dominant game thus far.
They haven't had to, though.
Right. And now they're going to have to score.
And that's what I mean about it being the actual test, because the Niners have just controlled every game that they've been in.
Right.
They score when they need to. When they don't,
this defense is scary. This is their first defense they have to go against.
That's where the Cowboys get all their points.
Yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, give me the Niners.
See what future Hall of Famer Brock Purdy does against
future Hall of Famer Brock
Dallas
Purdy.
defense.
Yeah.
We got one game left. It might as well be a toilet bowl at this point.
Yeah, so our teams are playing. Not that anyone cares, but the Packers are playing in Vegas against my Raiders.
It's the first time they played in Vegas.
So I changed my pickup. I'm choosing the Packers because as long as you have Josh McDaniels, you're going to find a way to fuck this up. Look, I cannot always go with the homer pick. I cannot always choose my Raiders just because they're my Raiders. I would have faith in them if they had an intern coach. I would have faith in them if they grabbed you off the street and said, you want to coach this week?
I'd do it. I'd do it in a second.
Yeah, then I might pick the Raiders for this game. But as long as you've got Josh McDumbass on that sideline, I think he's going to find a way to lose it. I just do.
Man, I was really so. The reality, we do honest picks. We don't try to.
I want to give.
We
you
don't
honesty.
game the system, and we don't just try to disagree.
Yeah,
I think the Packers can win this game too.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a pretty game.
I don't either. But
both these teams have a lot to prove. One of which for Green Bay is can they score in the first half, and actually get a lead and not have to make it up in the second half.
Yeah, and this defense from the Raiders has been playing better defense. Last year, I think they were 32nd or 31st overall. This year, I want to say they're 17th.
Yeah.
So they have taken a step forward. They got their first turnover last week. It could be competitive in a sloppy way, but as long as you've got Josh McDaniels, would I be pleasantly surprised if they won? Sure. But at this point, I don't see it happening.
Who's quarterback for this game? Do you know, for the Raiders?
It's undecided so far because they haven't said that Jimmy Garoppolo is out of concussion protocol.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything. That's why I asked.
So it could be Brock Purdy because they're not going to give
Aiden
Brian.
O'Connell?
I'm sorry. Sorry. Last game. I wish it was Brock Purdy.
I was going to say.
Obviously. No, they're not going to give Brian Hoyer.
No, he's just a backup.
He's just a coach.
He's
for
a
the
journeyman
quarterback.
backup. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He's played for, I want to say, like 9 teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And he likes it. I just heard him on an interview.
I thought Baker Mayfield had played for a lot of teams. But
everybody keeps saying that, and it's only been like 4, and 1 was just a temporary trade.
Yeah.
But yeah, especially if Aiden O'Connell plays Green Bay Packers. But man, I hate that we both agree in this game.
Yeah, but
Sucks.
I've got to give you legitimate takes. I can't give you some bullshit just because I want to love this team. Right now, I can't put faith in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you could.
So,
and we got 4 teams on a bye, so the bye weeks have started.
Yep.
Which I didn't do the numbers, but here's a nice thing. Let me just say something nice about the NFL. Yeah. We don't have a million games in the morning and only 3 in the afternoon. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 games in the afternoon.
That's nice.
So, like last week, it wasn't that exciting because the 3 games that we had, you had what? Raiders, Chargers, Cowboys.
In the morning?
Patriots. No, in the afternoon, there was only 3 games.
Oh, yeah, because the morning game was Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, when you're watching
Hard
Red
time
Zone,
anyways.
Yeah, if you're trying to watch more than one game and Red Zone, you start to see 2 of the same game over and over and over. It was like every time I was looking, it was Chargers Raiders. So
yeah.
Anyways, Cleveland, the Browns, Chargers, Seahawks, Buccaneers, all on a bye week.
Which 2 of those teams are freaking plagued with injuries.
Yeah.
So being the Chargers and the Browns, so they could both really use. Well, the Chargers are plagued with injuries. The Browns, didn't have Deshaun Watson this past week. So we'll see what's
and that didn't go well for him.
Yeah, it didn't go well at all. So they could use the rest. I don't think that rest will necessarily help the Chargers with how many injuries they have, but we'll see.
And they just traded away J.C. Jackson to the Patriots.
That was huge. And their upcoming schedule, it goes right back into their toughest teams they've ever played. So,
yeah,
we'll see. But anyways, that's
the games. That's our picks.
Yeah.
And now we'll tell you about our NFL stocks, buying or selling.
Our power rankings.
Segment change.
Woo. All right. So here is our power rankings. If we are stock up or stock down, or if we're holding our stock. This list is fluid, so it changes every week. And there was definitely some movement after this week 4.
Oh, yeah.
So let's get right into it. First up on my list, I got the 49ers. This team's 4-0, closest to a complete team on both sides of the ball. Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey, it's a force that can't be stopped. I believe their offense and their defensive scheme will continue to prove that after Sunday night's matchup, they'll just be on the up and up. So my stock is up with them at the moment.
Yeah, after last week when the Dolphins got stomped by the Bills, I moved the Niners back into first as top of the power rankings.
Same, yeah.
They're the only team that hasn't given any doubt whatsoever.
Yeah.
I know I mentioned that during the game pick, but they haven't really played a true tough team either, although they might be the most complete team.
Yeah.
So give me them at number 1. So
number 2, I've got the Bills at 3-1, and I have to give this team their flowers. I was convinced that the Dolphins would handle this team this past Sunday, but man, I was wrong. And in addition to that, Josh Allen was the best QB on the field that day. And
Yeah,
it wasn't
by
even
a
close.
long shot.
Yeah, it wasn't even close. And, Diggs showed that he was the best wide receiver on the field that day, and it wasn't even close.
With the cool celebration.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill was fairly silent.
Yeah.
They're looking like the team that can play all 4 quarters, and I'm interested to see how they were. I'm just interested to see how they will fare after losing Tre'Davious White for the season due to a torn right Achilles. So that is a huge blow to him, but my stock is still up.
Yeah, I mean, my stock in this team skyrocketed after watching what they did to the Bills.
Yeah.
They just dominated that entire game.
For sure.
Well, it was back and forth at the beginning, and then they just turned it on, and the Dolphins never had a shot. So I slot them up. Josh Allen's everything you wanted him to be this season. I'm throwing out that week 1, whatever the fuck that was.
He had a couple sloppy weeks, in my opinion, but he is playing complimentary football.
And they were clearly the better team on the field last week. So they are my number 2 spot.
So shout out to Sparkling Ice, which almost killed me in the last episode. I'm still drinking it.
Unpaid sponsorship.
Yeah.
But we drink it every episode.
But we drink it. I love it. It's a good replacement for soda, which I struggle with. So next up on my list, I've got the Dolphins at 3-1. And I know they just got bested in the first of 2 matchups against the Bills, but you can't tell me that this team still isn't a top 3, especially with that offense that they have. It came back down to earth just a little bit after the week 3 clinic that they put up, but I think they will adjust accordingly after this past week. My stock is up. They've got a great room of men and leaders. So
yeah, they're number 3 for me too. They dropped, but I'm still holding stock on this team. They definitely were not the better team on the field last week. They have some stuff to adjust when they're playing tough teams. I think they have enough film on what happened to make that adjustment. So I expect them to change. The emergence of Achane as a running back opens it up for more than just the passing game. This team's going to be just fine.
Yeah,
so I'm holding strong.
My stock is still up on this team.
Yeah.
At 4, I feel like people disrespect this team by not talking about them nearly enough. But I've got the Lions at number 4. They're 3-1, and no one's talking about this team like they should be in national sports. Their defense is no joke, and they're tough mentally. I see grit and passion from their coach, Dan Campbell, to the identity that the players have adapted to. It's something special. They beat the defending champs opening night in Arrowhead, and then they whooped the Packers' ass in Lambeau Field.
Why you got to talk about that? Why you got to say that?
Because
why you got to put it that way?
Because we literally just said this a few days ago off the air. That's why.
That is true. Agreed. My number 4 spot, though, is the Cowboys.
Okay.
Which they definitely had a get-right game.
They did.
They get so much scoring on their defense. I think they're the highest scoring defense. They have to be. I didn't look up the stats. Woo, go figure. If Dak can limit his unsolicited Dak picks and they can turn it on, this team could outscore anybody. So that's why I have them. And I've got stock up after this game.
Yeah, my stock is definitely up in the Lions. I don't know if I said that, but it's up. Next up on my list, I've got the Ravens. They're 3-1, after an impressive performance on the road against the Browns, number 1 defense in the league. I'm convinced in this team. I really am. It's their division to lose at this point. I see them giving teams a serious problem, and Lamar Jackson reminds me of what Jalen Hurts aspired to be this season.
Yeah, I don't get what's going on with Jalen Hurts.
He's a dual threat. He can run when he needs to efficiently, and he can throw the ball deep and accurately. My stock is up in the Ravens.
You got the Ravens pretty high. I'm surprised by that.
Yeah.
Interesting. I've got the Lions next at number 5. So not far off from where you are.
Right.
They look good on both sides of the ball. Jared Goff is playing well. They have a pass-catching tight end in Laporta, who's looking really good, for a first-year tight end.
He is.
The running game's getting a lot better with Montgomery, although I don't know why they drafted Jahmyr Gibbs. Don't understand it.
Yeah.
But they've been silently good. Yes, they beat the shit out of my Packers.
In Lambeau.
And they're just, nobody's talking about them right now. So, yeah, my stock's way up. I think they shot up pretty high into number 5.
Yeah. Okay, next up on my list, I've got the Eagles at number 6. They're 4-0, so let's focus on the positives first, right? They're playing a B- game, and they're 4-0, which a lot of teams can't even come close to playing their A+ game. So I've got to give those flowers first. But, this is the team actually that's missing their top slot corners, Avonte Maddox and Zach McPherson for the remainder of the season. So it's going to be up to younger players to try and fill their shoes. And they're going to need to rely on Jalen Hurts to take care of the ball with their defense taking massive hits at this point. So I'm going to hold the stock.
I also have the Eagles here. I'm holding stock as well. I don't even want to put the Eagles this high. What got them this high was just the fact that they're 4-0.
Yeah.
They have not played a complete game that they just dominated and said, we are the fucking team. Until I see that, I'm going to always have doubts. But I mean, this week we both picked against them.
Yeah.
They need to get Jalen Hurts running or passing better. I don't quite understand what's happening with him this season.
Look, and sorry to cut you off. I don't mean to cut you off.
Don't ever do it again.
Don't fucking do it again. But after they gave him that massive contract extension, which he earned, he needs to figure out how to, take care of the ball, to make better decisions, to run when needed. There is some accountability on his shoulders versus what can a team do for him.
What I don't get is is this a conscious effort? Because he does go to run, but it does nothing.
It doesn't seem organic at this point.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
So anyways, the Eagles are at number 6.
Yeah,
and
hold my stock.
I don't like it.
Yeah. Okay, number 7, I've got the Cowboys. So they're 3-1. The loss to the Cardinals seems like a distant memory at this point with that bounce-back win over Bill Belichick's Patriots. This defense continues to score like it's the offense, but how long can they maintain a quiet offense for? Because they have a pretty quiet offense from what I've seen. They'll have some off games in the defense coming up. That's what I can say. And, I'm going to need to see more out of Dak when that time comes.
He'll show you some Dak picks.
I'm sure he
will. If you want to see more of Dak.
The teams that they play great defense against are all under 500. They beat the 49ers this week. I will change my tune. So for now, hold my stock.
I've got Ravens at number 7. I guess I'm not up or I'm down because they're playing ugly football, but it's getting them wins. Lamar looks, kind of up and down each week. They just have no offensive line, really, is what the problem is. But They are benefiting from the Bengals being straight dog shit this season.
They are.
So
that's for sure.
It looks like they'll take the division if it keeps going the way it's gone.
Yeah, they're 3-1 and the Bengals are 1-3, which they've lost against the Ravens.
Yeah, but I don't know if the Ravens are going to be able to make much noise in the playoffs when you're playing good teams.
We'll see.
So that's where I'm at with them.
Okay. Next up at number 8, I've got the Chiefs. They're 3-1. But this isn't last year's Super Bowl champs. Not even fucking close. Their top wide receiver is their running back, And other than that, who's the wide receiver in the room? When defense is shut down, Travis Kelce, which seems manageable this year. In past years, that wasn't even an option. This team can be defeated. Patrick Mahomes, he's been playing sloppy to previous standards that he's set. He's thrown 8 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, plus he has a fumble. I don't see this team as a contender. Their next 4 teams are Vikings, in this order: Vikings, Broncos, Chargers, and Broncos again. And that's bum swatting for days. So their first real game,
yeah, it is.
Their first real game is Miami Dolphins, which is November 5th. Until then, stock down.
I have the stock down even for them coming off a win because I just don't like what I see.
No.
I was listening to a podcast. It was Macro Dosing with Aaron Foster.
Yeah.
And he just was talking. He said, man, the Chiefs aren't playing good ball, man.
They're not.
And he's one of the most honest dudes that I hear.
Yeah.
Everybody is continuously too high on this goddamn team. I love Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, me too.
I want them to play well. But
give me some Kermit the Frog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't do it well. I'm not even going to try it. You did a really good one. You're a resident Patrick Mahomes voice.
Let's go. Come on, man.
Every team that I have ranked above the Chiefs can beat the Chiefs.
Yes. 100%.
Which I know that's how power rankings, that's stupid, but
but when do
I'm talking 8 different teams or 7
no
can
doubt,
beat the Chiefs.
Here's another gripe that I have with how the NFL sets up scheduling. When are they going to play any of these teams? Not for a while.
Yeah.
And so they get all these easy bum swatting wins. Like, okay, what does that say though? What does that say? Like, yes, you're supposed to beat them. Sure, they didn't choose the schedule, but they are playing okay ball against bad teams. So for that reason,
they
played the Lions, and we saw what happened.
If you take Kelsey out of the game, they don't have a passing game.
They don't.
Unless they get a receiver, they're not going to do well in the playoffs. Like how we're already talking playoffs, or it's on week 5, we're like, playoffs, baby.
Well, you can start to see it, forming. So that's fair. Number 9, I got the Buccaneers, man.
Wow.
At 3-1. Yeah, Mayfield Magic is
shit.
back, baby. He's got 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions for the season with a QBR rating of 101.5. They also have Mike Evans doing his thing. Their defense is only giving up 17 points, which is 7th best in the league. And a lot of their Super Bowl champions of a few years ago are still on this team. So they have the experience. They have the coaching. My stock's up.
Yeah. I'm surprised you got them that high. I really am. Although I'm not that far off. But I've got the Seahawks at 9. Like the Ravens, it's ugly ball. Yeah. It's not great, but they are winning and they're playing gritty football. It's just that team that's not going to quit and they'll figure it out. They're going to play all 4 quarters. They haven't given up.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll's clearly showing that he's a good coach. I mean, nobody expects anything out of this team built last year or this year. And even Geno Smith is playing okay ball.
Yeah.
So 9.
Yeah. And I've got the Seahawks at 10. And really, after that, you get into 2-2 teams. And out of good nature, I don't feel like I could put any team that's 2-2 in the top 10 right now. That's part of the logic. The other part is they do have some good momentum. So I've got the Seahawks at 10. They're 3-1, and they're playing somewhat impressive, actually, in my opinion. And Geno's having a hell of a second stint for his career. I mean, is he not? Like, where was he before last year? Like, I know he was still on the Seahawks, but
he played well last year.
No, before last year. He played last year, and that was good.
I think he's been on the Seahawks for a while.
Right, but he's been, nobody. He's been second to Russell Wilson.
He never took the starting job from anybody.
Right, so now
he wasn't going to do it from Russell Wilson, but
right.
I mean, he was on the Jets getting punched in the locker room.
You know what? You know what I have to say to that? Let fucking Geno cook.
Oh, my God, let's not do that. Number 10, I've got the Rams. Cooper Kupp coming off.
Hold on. I didn't finish. Sorry.
Sorry.
I love the rushing room too. Kenneth Walker, he's having a good start, and Metcalf's a freak, and he's going to make more appearances as the season progresses. This team that we forgot to talk about in this regard, they specialize in turnovers. They're 4th overall in the NFL. So hold my stock.
The Seahawks are?
Yeah.
Shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
4th in turnovers?
4th. Right?
Okay.
The more you know, man. That's why I have them number 10.
All right.
I'll hold my stock. Anyway, sorry.
I did not know that. Obviously, I'm not stat guy.
That's why I'm here, baby.
So, okay. So, 10, I got the Rams. Cooper Kupp coming off IR. The question I have, is there a way to make Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua relevant in the same offense? Sometimes teams struggle with that.
Sure.
I'm interested to see how it goes. But if they can, that passing game skyrockets and makes everybody spread the field.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Matt Stafford about to be the gunslinger.
Yeah, that'll help for sure. I've got the Rams at number 11. Cooper Kupp is back in practice, which I think is going to give the team the spark it needs. And, the losses that have came against the 49ers, which they battled pretty good against, they only lost by a touchdown in that game. And I think it was a fluke of a loss against the Bengals, which was 19-16. Stafford has put up huge passing numbers. He's second in the league at 1229, just right behind Tua. But he needs to throw less interceptions at this point. He's already got 5 this season. So I think, with Kupp coming back, I think that'll kind of mitigate that. So hold my stock, but I've got them at 11.
So I totally forgot that this game had already started. And the Commanders are in their all blacks, which look badass.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Bears are up 10-0 right now.
Oh, shit.
Ruh-roh, Commanders. You got to figure it out.
They'll find a way to self-implode probably.
Yeah,
just
they
like
probably
last
will.
week.
Yeah, never trust them when they're up. I had a friend who just
That's
texted
the Raiders
me.
of last year. I swear to God.
Yeah. A friend just texted me and said the Bears heard your comment on your podcast last week. Okay, I've got the Buccaneers at 11. They had a get-right game against the Saints. And I love what Mayfield's doing this year. I really do. I think this is his home.
Yeah.
They play in a division where they should be able to take it.
It's great to see him like back with a team that embraces him.
Yeah. I would probably put this team higher if they hadn't got their shit kicked in by the Eagles. That kind of lingering in my brain. But, yeah, I have them at 11.
Okay. So, number 12, I've got the Colts. They're 2-2 right now. Jonathan Taylor is back and expected to play for the remainder of the season with this team. And this opens up huge options for the offense with rookie quarterback Anthony Richardson. Their upcoming schedule is all winnable games, by the way, like winnable. So stock is up.
Yeah, I didn't update this since that news. And I'm wondering if I would have changed the Colts and the Buccaneers around.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're basically at the same spot at 11 and 12. Mm-hmm. I still can't figure out if the Colts are good, but I'm starting to lean towards they're going to be actually good with Jonathan Taylor back. That's just a huge pickup. So, or not pickup, but like return.
Right. Return. Sure.
So, yeah, I've got the Colts at 12.
Okay. So 13, I've got the Commanders, who in my opinion are a bad coaching call away from Ron Rivera for potentially being 3-2. They should have gone for 2 points against the suspect Eagles defense to win that game. And I know a lot of the sports world were tweeting the same, like, why didn't you go for 2? You weren't going to win in overtime, and we saw what happened. But I think they can get a get-right game. And with an easy 3-game stretch, we're talking in this order: Bears, Falcons, and Giants. Plus, on 10/29, they have their second shot at revenge against the Eagles, which they will be hosting.
Yeah.
So hold my stock for now, but I think they can be above 500.
They could.
Yeah.
I've got the Commanders next, and I'm holding on this team.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much I buy that they're going to make a run at anything. They're fun because they got a good defense.
And they've got Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah. The offense, I mean, you don't know what you're going to get out of Sam Howell. You're going to get 50 picks. You're going to get none. Is he going to be able to step back and pass? Right now, they're down against the Bears as we record this. So they're at 13, holding. Will they make the list next week?
Sure.
I don't know.
I got a team up next on 14, which I can see moving up the power rankings drastically. Okay. So I've got the Texans at 14. CJ Stroud is showing me that he can be that guy. He is the best QB.
Yeah, he is.
Of this year's draft. It's not even close. Just previously named September's Rookie of the Month, and for good reason. 6 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, QBR rating of 100.6. What stands out to me, man, is that they don't have any bona fide offensive weapons, but I see him elevating the entire team to victories. And with an easy upcoming schedule, trust me, it's really easy. Go look it up. I see this team climbing in standings and upcoming week's rankings. My stock's up.
I've got the Texans in the same spot. Stock way up. This team is just on my radar constantly.
They're sneaky.
They are sneaky.
Yeah.
The CJ Stroud as quarterback has been incredible.
Right.
He's looking really good and developing fast. They have no offensive line. He's got to run his ass off, and he's still making plays. And when you're talking about no offensive weapons, they got Tank Dell, baby.
Yeah, I mean, Tank Dell. Okay, sure.
I want to be called Tank. I don't know how I make that happen. But, yeah, I've got the Texans here, stock way up. It's a team that I'm actually keeping my eye on this season because nobody thought they would be here, and here they could make a run at the division.
Yeah, no doubt. 15 on my list. I've got the Browns. The number 1 defense has a bye week to get things right. Okay, they got punked in this past week's game against the Ravens, but to be fair, they were without Deshaun Watson. I think he does make them a better team from what we saw in his absence. But they have a rough schedule ahead. So for now, I will hold my stock.
I've got the Browns at 15.
Yeah.
Holding.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't believe in the Browns whatsoever.
It's their defense that's holding.
I mean, they might have the best defense.
Yeah.
But they still have Deshaun Watson, who's not anything near what he was.
Yeah, I agree.
The Browns are always the Browns. So I have them here just because they are their record, basically.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. They could probably take the division and make it playoffs, but do I even believe them? I don't know. Yeah, it's one of those things like you have to put them on there just because the way the season's gone out, but you don't love it.
Yeah.
So 15, which isn't really saying much.
Right. Yeah.
But that's where I got it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's
That's our picks for the week.
Yep.
So we are going to finish watching this game because the Bears are making it interesting. Holy shit.
Yeah,
I had no idea. I didn't know the Commanders were wearing their all blacks. It looks cool as shit.
Well, they better be putting up some points. Otherwise, those uniforms don't mean shit.
Correct. All right. So we are going to upload this. Many of you will hear this after this game. So good job, Commanders. You did it. Oh, that's bad luck. I did that for the Packers last time and they lost. I'm not going to say, I didn't say anything.
Don't fucking put that juju on them.
I know. Anyways, make sure to like, subscribe, download on all the platforms. We're uploading things to YouTube, TikTok. Our podcast available on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you find podcasts. Make sure to leave a review. You got to do 5 stars to leave it.
5, baby.
Listen, that's what they told us when we...
I got 5 on
Yeah, when we made the account, that's what they said. And they said you had to say it in every single episode, so check it out. But I am breaking down the videos that we shoot each week, and I'm going to start uploading those to TikTok. So if you haven't checked us out there, we are Sports Force Pod, where we are everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. It's all the same. Sports Force Pod. We will see you next week with our overreactions and underlying stories from week 5.
Let's go, baby.
See you next week.
Peace.
Peace.